Not a little bit of the time, all the time. Me, my brother, my sister. Shout out to Adam and Angie. We were in church all the time. What's up? How you doing? Welcome back to A Moment in Time with yours truly, Aaron Thomason. Now remember, this is when I let you into my business and my experiences a little bit, so I need you to be gentle. All right, I'm excited to actually kind of talk through this concept, this tension, this dichotomy, so to speak, of compliance versus commitment. And I brought this up in a video a little while ago and asking ourselves the question, are we going through life committed? Or are we going through life compliant, right? So let's go check out the video and then we'll come back and I'll tell a story to kind of help us tease out where we are as far as being committed or compliant. All right, let's go check it out. Are you going through life compliantly or are you committed? Are you committed to success? Are you committed to making the relationships around you better? Are you committed to the goal that you have in front of you to say that this gets done by this time? Or are you just trying to do it and kind of go through the motions? See, that's what compliance is. It's checking the box. It's just going through the motions. Hey, listen, you heard the man. It just happens to be me, but you heard the man. Are you just checking the boxes or are you committed and inspired? Right? Because see, here's what happens. When you're committed, you inspire, you find innovations, you're creative. People follow you when you're committed. But if you're just going through life compliantly, you're just kind of going through the motions. You're just kind of checking the box. Nobody's really feeling that, right? If that's what you're doing. So let me walk you through something that I think about very fondly. And as a kid, I remember this. Now, it's kind of confessions of a church kid, and y'all pray for me. Still got some things I'm still trying to get out, a little PTSD, because I was in church all the time. Not a little bit of the time, all the time. Me, my brother, my sister. Shout out to Adam and Angie. We were in church all the time, right? Let me give you, just so you don't think I'm making this up, right? And for some of you all, this might be foreign, but I want you to understand. We were in church, Sunday school in the morning service afterwards. Then we couldn't even go home to eat. We would eat at the church, one of them dinners in that styrofoam container, eat at the church, afternoon service, then afternoon service, we going straight to evening service. When I say all the time, it didn't matter whether it was snowing, whether it was nice out, we were in church all the time, right? And so lo and behold, somehow, I think most black churches specifically, on Sunday afternoon, that 3:30 service, that afternoon service, is the moment where people, not in the choir, not really in their robes, not really official, they want to be in testimony service. They're going to tell about the goodness of God. This is what we're going to do, right? As a kid, I was annoyed, but also I was entertained. But I want to walk you through the difference between two singers I saw as a kid in testimony service on a Sunday afternoon. The first one, they were technically correct. Like all their notes were right. The organist and the piano and everybody, they can follow them, and we recognize the song and everything else, and it's good. And you kind of go off clapping, amen, praise God. But then you got the other singer that they're not as technical. The keyboard player having a little bit of time trying to find them, but when they find them, you start crying. You get goosebumps on your arm. You stand up and wave your hands, and you trying to figure out what just came over you. That's the difference between the two singers, is that the one that gave you goosebumps as a kid, and I didn't know what was going on, that one was committed. Why was that one committed? Because they connected with the song in a specific way. It wasn't perfect. They didn't have everything worked out. They were probably nervous when they got up, but once they kind of settled in, their soul connected with yours, their spirit connected with yours. All of a sudden, you were like, I want to know more about that God that they're singing about. But then you had the other one where you're like, oh no, that's nice. That's real good. Amen. Golf clap. where you can't criticize it. There was nothing wrong with it. It wasn't that it was bad. It just didn't move you. And see, some of us are trying to go through life to not make mistakes, to be technically right, but you ain't moving nobody. But then we got the other folks that they more worried about just getting in action, getting in motion, and just being excited and inspired about what they're doing. And guess what? People are following them. And you're like, I'm better than them. They don't even have it all together. But people are following them because they're inspired, because they're committed, because people know they're going someplace where they know that the other side is, they'll probably get there. This side feels like the ride might be a little bit more adventurous, but I'm inspired to go give whatever I have to them to help them get to where they're going, because I see the creativity, I hear the innovation, I see the vision. But that compliance is just, I don't want to make a mistake. I'm going to stay in this box here. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be comfortable. And when you do that, you're going to get drastically different results. Now, again, you have to make the determination. Which one are you? Because see, if you're just trying not to make a mistake, then that's okay. That's playing it safe. And we need people in the world to play it safe. But a lot of you all are looking and got big visions of something crazy in your heads. And you've been sitting here ruminating it. It's keeping you up at night. You can't let it go. You can see it. You can taste it. You can feel it. You know the details of it. So you are so committed to it that you're figuring out different ways to get there faster and who you can kind of inspire to get on board with you to get committed as you are to go get there. And guess what? In different seasons, you need different ones. So I want you to figure out what season calls for you right now to just be compliant, don't rock the boat, run the play, do what you need to do. And on the other side, if you're in the season where you need to get after it, be inspiring, be excited, and be committed so you can have your creativity, your innovation, and your passion to inspire those to come follow you to where you're going, then maybe you're in that moment. But the thing I want you to show, there's actually nothing wrong. That's the thing I want you to show. There's nothing wrong with being compliant. There's nothing wrong with being committed, but you got to be able to use those together to make beautiful music, to create the harmony that ultimately ends up being the life you live, the goals you see that come from your mind to come to fruition. That's where we want to be. That's the fun that we want to have. That's what life is about. It's not just having the extremes, but being able to go back and forth and being able to play them out in time and season. When they come together, you're in a space that you only saw in your minds and you're excited. And it wasn't all about the fanaticism and excitement and commitment. And it wasn't all about playing everything safe. It was about appropriately doing what the situation called for. Listen, I appreciate you stopping by as always to a moment in time and being gentle, hearing about me and my stories as a church kid. Listen, do me a favor. Tell somebody. Tell somebody about us getting better. Tell them about us trying to figure out what we need to do different. Tell a neighbor or friend, subscribe to it. Put in the comments, are you in a season of being committed, where you're inspired, you're excited, and people are following you? Are you in a season where you just need to be compliant and kind of run the play until you get to that next moment? Just put in the comments, let me know. And I want to end with this, as always. Remember, just because you're getting better doesn't mean that you weren't already good. I appreciate you as always, and until next time, I'll see you then.